gonna do a video about how God told me to move to Texas. And I think this video is very important because of the stage that I'm in my life. It's such like a transition stage, and I didn't want to just go anywhere. Like, I just wanted God to guide me to where He wanted me to go. And I want to really show how He guided me to where He wanted me to go. And I'm gonna read my notes. I wrote like 5 pages worth of stuff because I did not want to leave like any details out on how He told me to move here. So it starts like, I initially moved to Florida because I followed my mom. My mom moved from Fort Myers to Tampa, Florida, and I had plans to just follow her again because at the time we had a close relationship, and I was really just gonna follow my mom because it's really all that I knew to do. Y'all gonna hear Kaden in the background. He just woke up, but yeah. So time went by, and I had a realization that I was only leaning toward Tampa because my mother lived there. And it dawned on me that I can go anywhere in the world. Like, I can live anywhere. I don't have to just go where I know somebody. So that's how it started, me kind of leaning towards somewhere. Like, God started to put it on my heart to go far away. And I started to feel that desire. I was like, I remember telling people, I was like, I just want to go far, far away. I was like, I don't know where I want to go, but I'm like, just as long as God is telling me to go there, and hopefully it's just far away. So over time, the relationships with my family, who I started out to be close with, started to become kind of distant relationships. And now I know, like the reason for that is just because I'm going through this phase where I need to learn how to just lean on God only, not, parents or, stuff like that we normally lean on. I had the desire placed in my heart to go far away, but I knew I wanted God to guide me there. I remember saying, if God wants me to go to Nebraska, I'm going to Nebraska. Because I know if God is telling you to go somewhere, then, it has to do with your destiny. Like, it's people waiting for you in those places. Opportunities waiting for you at those places. Like, it's stuff that you have to do in this specific place that He's calling you to go. So that's the importance of having God lead you to a place. I'm always watching prophetic words on YouTube. That's my thing. Like, when I watch YouTube, that's really be all that I watch. And then like random little stuff I be watching. But that's really all I be watching. So I came across a word on a lady saying how God told her to move. God told her when she was moving and where she was going to be moving. And I remember watching her, and I was just like, oh my goodness, like, I hope God tell me, like, why God ain't talking to me like that? Like, God, where do you want me to move? Like, I want to know where you want me to move. Like, I was just feeling some type of way. So I'm just like, I hope God tell me. I was so happy for her that, God is communicating with her like that and letting her know where He wants her to go. I'm like, okay, well, I hope God talks to me like that, because I know it's stuff waiting for you in these places. So I'm like, God, you got to let me know where you want us to go. So, So I watched her video, and she started seeing all the signs that she was getting to move and the place that God was telling her to move. She said she had dreams about the place when she was a child, and so many more confirmations that she was saying in the video, and how the move affects our destinies, especially during this time, and how we need to pray and we need to ask God to guide us and lead us where we should go. So I'm like, well, I only got about 3 months left before my lease is up. Like, I hope God tells me where to go, like her. So I started praying every day, like, all right, God, all right, now we only got like 3 months left. Where is we going? Like, this is literally what I was saying. I'm like, God, where are we going? I only have 3 months. Like, I need to start planning right now. And so yeah, I asked continuously, like, I was praying every single day, like, God, tell me, like, it's somewhere. I'm praying for like license plates. I said, God, show me 3 license plates where you want me to go. Or God, just keep sending me confirmation, like, send me a dream, something, God, like, communicate with me so I can know. And I kept asking, like, me and God, like, that's our relationship, okay? He's working on me about a lot of stuff, but like, that's our relationship, and God know how I am. Like, I be wanting to know stuff, and I feel like that He waited right, before I had to leave, because He know, like, I was a motor mouth, and like, He even still working on me with that right now. Like, because he would have told me I'm moving to Dallas, I would have went tweeting about it. I would have making posts, Instagramming it, like, yo, God just told me I'm about to move to Texas. Oh, I'm about to get out of here. I would have been saying so much stuff because I was so excited. So I know he waited until I was gonna hold the water. Like, I was not gonna tell nobody. Like, cause when he told me, like, the only people that I told was my immediate family members and stuff. But I'm gonna talk about that too. But yeah, I didn't tell nobody, like, until I got approved for my place. Cause I didn't even want, like, I know people could pray that stuff don't happen for you, or like pray for delay for stuff for you. And so yeah, I didn't tell nobody. Stopped praying. Like, I was praying, asking, and I stopped praying about it. And I'm just like, all right, God gonna let me know. So I had a dream, right? After I stopped praying, I was like, God gonna let me know. I had a dream. I bought a plane ticket to Dallas. And when I woke up, I was excited. Cause I'm like, what? Like, Dallas? Like, God, you want me to go to Dallas? Like, I started looking for places immediately. I'm like, yeah, like, you know, I'm ready to go. Cause especially if I feel like God just told me to go to a place, I'm ready to go. Like, where are we going? I'm packed. I'm ready to go. Cause I know that, like, God is not gonna ever lead me wrong. He's gonna lead me to exactly where I need to be. And so I was so excited. I'm like, I'm going where God want me to go. Like, I didn't just choose a place. Like, I didn't just say, oh, I want to move to, you know, here because, you know, it's good business opportunities, good connections I can make, it's good. I wasn't thinking about none of that. I said, God, where you want me to go? I'm going, because I know you gonna work out everything else. So this is why I'm in Dallas, y'all. But I got a lot more that I need to talk about. So I had a dream about Dallas. So I woke up, and the first thing I thought about was that the distant family members that I had that actually used to live in Dallas. So the people that used to live in Dallas is my mom, my dad's mom, which is my grandmother, her daughter, which is my aunt, we're the same exact age, and then her son, which is my uncle. His name is actually Dallas, which is so funny because he was the first person, like, that I thought about when I woke up, just because I was trying to think about, like, did I have a clue, like, anytime before this? Like, did I have any clue that it was going to be Dallas? They was just the first people that I thought about. And they don't live in Dallas no more, none of them. So I don't know a soul in Dallas. So, like, I just came here because God told me to come here. But, yeah, they don't live in Dallas no more. But my grandma, she actually lives in Atlanta. So she, you know, this is how God works. She literally had her husband had a concert here the day that I moved here, like the next day. And so I was able to hang out with them that whole week and stuff. But they flew back to Atlanta. And so, yeah, I don't have no family here. I don't know nobody here. I don't, you know, I'm really ready to discover this place though. Like, I'm very excited. Like, I done already went out with friends and stuff like that, like actually made connections. I didn't do that at all where I was before. So I'm like, I don't know, I'm just excited. But yeah, so like when I discovered that it was Dallas, remember when I told you, like, the prophetic word that I watched at first, that she told me that God, like, you know, told her where to move. Well, after God told me that I was going to Dallas, I thought about the fact that when I watched her video, God had told her to move to Dallas too. And I did not realize that. I was like, oh my goodness, like, he was literally subliminally talking to me the whole time. And I did not realize. I was like, he literally told me it was Dallas, like, without telling me. Because I'm looking at her, I'm like, oh, Dallas, like, that's cool. I'm not thinking about Texas, Dallas, none of that. I'm like, if God want me to go to Nebraska, like I said, I'm going to go to Nebraska. I was not thinking about Dallas, like, at all. But it was just funny that that's also, too, where she moving. I know God is moving a lot of believers to Texas and specifically Dallas. So I'm very excited to be here. I'm very, very excited to see what's to come. But, yeah. So, yeah, I was not even thinking about Dallas at all. But, so, yeah, we're going to go back to when I had the dream. So, the first mistake that I made, because the lady talked about this in the video. She said when God tells you where to move, like, or when you're going to move or anything like that, like, you don't need to tell people because they can talk doubt into you. And I did that, and I literally realized it when I was doing it, that that's what was happening. But it wasn't because of like hatred or anything like that we'll try to come up with in our head. It was more because, like, you know, it was that natural worry and fear that anybody has. Like, they're like, you're going to a territory you don't know anybody there, like, you have a kid, like, you don't have daycare there, you don't have a job there, you don't have any, like, you don't know anybody there, you don't have any help, like, no connections, any of that. So everybody's confused on, like, why are you even up and leaving? I'm like, well, God told me to go. Like, God told me to go there. Like, that's why I'm going. I'm like, I know it sounds crazy, but I'm like, that's where I'm going. And it's like, when I would tell so many people that, I'm sorry to get off track, but when I would tell so many people that, like, I'm going because God told me, they would literally be like, oh, well, yeah, it's a nice place. Like, you know, I get why you're going, because it is a nice, like, you know. And I'm like, yeah, but that's not why. It's like, they would try to discount the fact that I'm saying I'm going there because God told me. Like, they're like, oh, you just wanted a fresh start. I'm like, no, I'm going, but I'm telling you, I'm going specifically here because God told me to go here. It's no other reason. And so that's why, like, because at first I would feel weird even telling people, I'm like, God told me to move to Dallas. Like, it was weird. Now I'm proud of it. I'm like, yes, I want people to ask more questions. I love when they ask me more questions. I start telling them my signs and my wonders and everything. And yeah, and they just be like, wow. But, you know, some people just be like, you know, yeah, okay. But it's just when you know, like, I knew God told me to come here, so. But, you know, they only talk down to you because they don't know what God told you. Like, they don't know your relationship with God. They don't know how God talks to you. They don't know any of that. But I just knew that if God was telling me to go to a place, he was going to make sure that I was straight. I knew that. So where it didn't make sense to other people, it made sense to me because God just took me through a season where a lot of things did not make sense. Like, it was so much that I was going through, like, with my health reasons. It was like I was getting attacked in my finances. I was getting attacked in a lot of areas of my life, like my mental health, just my physical health. Like, I'm going to make videos even about that, like the stuff that I was going through with that. But he's even dealing with me now just on a lot of, you know, spiritual things and a lot of demons that I was harboring. I did not even realize, but I would be wondering, like, why am I thinking this certain way? Why do I feel this way? But he just revealed to me that it was a demon. So, moving on, though. See, those of you that don't believe in, like, supernatural realm and all that, you're going to just think I'm weird. But I'm going to always talk about that stuff because it's real and it's real to us because we have souls inside of this body. But, all right. Moving on. So, all right. So, I talked about the season God had just brought me through, which, you know, nothing made sense. So, him telling me to go to Dallas, like, it wouldn't make sense, like, to nobody else. But to me, you know, it made sense because I'm like, he kind of just, he made me a believer. Like, he's making me have more faith in him and more faith in what he's telling me to do. So, yeah. So, when I told my family, they started to talk fear and doubt into me. And I started to think, well, maybe I should just move to Tampa. Like, maybe I should just stay in Florida. Like, you know, maybe I should stay close to my mom. Like, I know somebody. You know, I'm getting daycare help here. Like, you know, and I started to think of, you know, staying in the place that appeared to be more safe. I was like, this is more safe. Like, I don't know that territory. So I was talking myself out of going. And I started to think small again and doubt the signs. And so I said, God, if you want me to move to Texas, I need to see it on 3 license plates today. I said, you know, that could be a coincidence. But I wanted it to be specifically like, you know, I wanted God to communicate to me in a specific way to where I would know that it was him. So I was thinking small, just saying like license plates. Because I'm like, how else I'm going to see Texas? Like, you know, just thinking small. And I realizing God could do whatever he wanted to do. So, yeah, I wanted to see 3 license plates. So I went out driving. And the first thing I saw a Texas license plate. All right, I'm like, okay, that's 1 plate, though. You know, I got to see 2 more, though. God, I need to see 2 more signs. So I got a little excited, though. But I'm like, you know, let me pipe down. Let me wait. I need to see. Let me see if I see some more. So, I go driving again. I see this big old semi truck. They had a Florida plate, but they had a flap, like, you know, the flap that be in the back of the semi trucks that's like covering their tires. It had Texas huge on it, and I looked and I saw it, and I was like, okay, but that's not a license plate, though. But, like, I'm just thinking small-minded, like, but that's not a license plate. But, okay, Texas. Okay, I just saw it twice. Okay, whatever. I'm like, I still need to see it 3 times. So I ended up walking into the store, and as I'm walking up to the register, I see a sign that is like over. I don't know if it was like Texas brand or something like that. I don't know. I just see a big sign that say Texas, and I was like, oh, well, that's 3 Texas signs. I'm like, but you know, the doubt creeping. You like, yeah, but it wasn't 3 license plates though. You know, like being a skeptic. I'm like, nah, but it wasn't license plates. But I'm like, nah, that was my 3 signs. Like, that was my 3 signs. But I still, you know, I'm human. I'm still having doubt. Like, But I'm like, God, okay. I need you to confirm this some more, God. I said, I need more confirmation, God, because this is a big move. I'm going to a place I don't know nobody. Like, I'm going to emphasize, I do not know a soul here. I don't know anything about Dallas. I've never been to Texas before in my life. So I said, God, I need more confirmations. I need you to let me know. If you want me to go here, God, I need you to make it clear. This is how I'm talking to God. I need you to make it clear if you want me to go here. So, I'm driving, and I kid you not, I see a car that had 2 license plates on the back of it. I had never seen a car with 2 license plates ever in my life for 2 different states, right? So, at the bottom, right, in the bottom plate, it said Florida. Then, in the back window, he had a Texas plate in the back window. It was saying, like, Texas over Florida. So, when I saw that, I was just like, that is so crazy. I ain't never seen no car with 2 license plates. Like, my mind was blown. I'm like, hold up, Texas over Florida. Then the car had like 5 different Texas stickers on the back. Like, it had the Texas state, the Texas name, like just a bunch of Texas. Like, he was Texas proud. So I was like, what? I was like, what? Okay, Texas over Florida, guy. You said Texas over Florida. I gotta go to Texas. All right, okay, that's my confirmation. Really, after that, like, the doubt started to leave my mind. I really started to become more grounded in what I knew that God was trying to tell me to do, the transition that I could clearly see that he was trying to make me make, even having me go to a place by myself, like with just my child. Like, he was literally calling me out to, you know, lean on him, like just him, not a mom, not a dad, like not anybody. Like, you know, my dad died 4 years ago. So, like, now I look at, like, God, that's my father. Like, that is my dad. And so, when my dad is telling me to go somewhere, I'm like, I'm going to listen. Like, especially, my dad can see the future. Like, my dad know when people around me, they don't got good intentions. When they do. But he knows. Like, so that's why I'm like, yeah, I got to listen. Like, where does God want me to go? And so, yeah, he was calling me to, you know, walk alone. And get away from people that I'm so used to relying on and depending on my whole life. I've always had these people. So he's like, no, you need to now just depend on me. You need to now just rely on God. This is your provider. It's only but by his spirit that these people will give to me, that these people will help me, that these people do have knowledge, wisdom, and revelation to give to me. Is by his spirit. It's only by his spirit the blessings that I receive, the places I apply for, I get approved, the jobs I get, everything that I get is only by him. And he showed me this in this last season. He showed me. I'm talking about, I had checks that was held up in the mail, everything. Like, but he showed me, like, and Esther, like, I did the Esther fast. I did not eat or drink for a whole day. Y'all, I'm laughing because Kaden gonna start talking when I'm trying to tell y'all about this. But look, there was times I did the Esther fast. I did not eat or drink for the whole day. I had a check that was held up in the mail. I fasted that whole day. The next morning, I had my check. It was released to me. So crazy. But you get what I'm trying to say. I got my money, like, right after I was obedient to God. Next morning, the check was released into my account. And this is why he says that when you fast, he said that it's some spirits that do not go out but by fasting and prayer. And that's just showing obedience to God and showing that you will sacrifice food. You would sacrifice something that's so good. You know, I like to eat. I like to eat like good food. I like to cook, all of that. But if God said you would sacrifice food for him, you would sacrifice like just pleasure for him, he's going to reward that. And I saw that immediately. And so, yeah, I got off track there, but I was just like, God has been showing me to rely on him. That's really all. That's really all, man. He showed me, like, whatever you feel, that check you got coming in the mail, it's only coming because God is allowing it. If he don't want it to come, if he want to stop it, he can stop it. That's the real fact. This is what he showed me. And so now I just rely on God. And he's literally, he made my faith crazy to where people would be looking at me and like, you're nuts. Like, this is not how life works. I'm just going to make sure that I'm going to be straight. And so I knew that. But, yeah. And so I was looking for places and jobs. So, yeah, back to the move. I was looking for places and jobs nonstop to make sure that I was setting myself up for success. Thankfully, the family that I said lived there, I was able to ask them about the areas in Dallas and send her zip codes, and she pointed me in the perfect direction. So after a while, the apartment looking process was becoming exhausting. And I would be praying every day, like, God, please just lead me to the right place. Like, I do not want to have, like, you know, I didn't want to keep looking at all the reviews. Like, you know, you get your hopes up. Ooh, this place is in a good price range, good neighborhood. Oh, but they got roaches. Okay. Ooh, or this place is good. You know what I'm saying? I don't got no, they ain't got no roach comments. Oh, but it's $1,500. Hey, I'm not paying that. So God literally was leading me to where I needed to be. So yeah. So yeah, and plus I have a child. Like, I had to do a lot of due diligence to make sure that I was going to be in the perfect place. So yeah, I wanted God to lead me to the place because I'm like, I know that God knows all things. So God, please just lead me to the perfect place. I don't want to pick a place, and I'm not going to look at the place before I get there. Like, I'm not doing that. Even though, you know, I was offered opportunities. People offered to pay for my flights so that I could go. And I have a lot of generous people in my family. Like, 9 times out of 10, it's never because I don't have it. They literally just offer to do stuff for me. So that is a blessing. Like, that is a blessing, and I see that for what it is, and I'm grateful for those people regardless of our differences. But that we might have sometimes. But even that, God is working on me with that too, just not being offended by things and not assuming the worst about people, which is what I do a lot. But yeah, so I was praying the whole time, like, God, help me find a place. So, as I was on apartments.com, it's just so weird. I was looking for places, and I prayed, and I was just like, God, please just help me. Like, because I had looked so much. I'm like, God, just please lead me to the place. Like, please. And by that time, I had applied for one place already. Like, because, you know, I read all the reviews and everything, and it seemed like the best place that I had found. Like, so far, it was perfect. Like, it was in my price range. It ain't had no roach reviews. It was in a good neighborhood, you know, and it was seeming good. So I was steady looking, though. I wanted to keep my options open because I'm not from Dallas. I don't know. Like, so I'm going into it, you know, blind. But I asked God to, you know, help me. So I said, God, please help me. I refreshed the page, and it was only like 2 apartments. Like, I kid you not, this list probably had hundreds of places on it that I was going through. When I refreshed it, it was only 2 places left on the list. Like, if the list was through. It was like, God said, I already found the place that, like, for you. You already applied to it. Like, you know, I'm not realizing at the time, but I'm just like, okay. So after that, I ain't see no more places on the list. So I'm just like, okay, then I must be finna get this place. So I get into the car, right? And God has been speaking to me a lot, like, through the radio. He speaks to me through a lot of ways. But got in the car. But I got in the car. I'm talking so fast here. Okay. I got in the car. And I turned the radio on, and it said, the veil has been lifted. And then my eyes got big, and I was just like, because I'm like, the place that I had just applied to, the street was Veil Street, y'all. Like, literally veil, like the veil, like, you know, bride, veil, lifted. And when it said that, I said, so God, I'm going to get the place? Like, so I'm going to get the place? Like, I got so excited. I'm like, the veil has been lifted, Veil Street. You just told me, so I got the place. Like, that was the place, y'all. Because when I said I refreshed the list, it was no more places on the list. Like, he already told me, you already got the place that I led you to. Like, this is the place that I have for you already. You don't need to look no further. And so when he said that, I was just so excited. I'm like, okay, the veil has been lifted. I'm about to get this place then. I ain't think about it no more. I'm like, I'm getting approved then. God already said it. So I started to focus on jobs, because I'm like, okay, I'm transitioning. Like, I had my realtor's license while I was in Florida, but I was new at being a realtor, so I didn't really get to do, like, too much with it. I only had my license for about 5 months, and then I moved. So now I'm in Texas, and so I was like, okay, I need something to, you know, just to make the transition smoother. Like, I would, please don't mind my baby. But yeah, you know, just to make my transition smoother, I'm like, yeah, I need to have income coming in. Like, I'm not the type, I used to be the type to go off of savings and, you know, let it just dwindle down. I gotta have income, you know, constantly coming in, especially moving. That's thousands of dollars. That's so expensive. So I knew I needed to have income coming in. So, yeah, if you know me too, you know, like, when I was 18, I got in a little bit of trouble. I changed my life since. But it was a lot of stuff that I kept getting in trouble with, and it was a lot of stuff that was preventing me from a lot of opportunities, which, you know, by the grace of God, literally the month of June, my record is expunged and it's clean, but your girl had a record, so I'm going to be real about that. I had a record, and I was very scared about not getting approved for my place and not getting approved for my job, but let me tell you, because this is before my record even got expunged, y'all. I'm telling y'all, my record could not get expunged till I literally had to move, till weeks after I had to move. So I'm like, I really hope that this does not prevent this. Like, and by the grace of God, it didn't. Because when I was in school, like when I was in school in Indiana where I got in trouble, I remember I'm only 19 years old. I'm applying for places. I'm getting denied because of my record. I got in trouble when I was 18. And it has haunted me. Like, but I learned my lesson now. I don't do that no more. Like, I'm such a changed person now, but it literally took so much time and pruning for me to even get to that point. Afraid that I might not get a job and I might not get the place because of my record. So I said, God, if you want me to move there, I said, I got to get approved for the place. I felt like I was already getting approved for the place. I said, God, if you want me to move there, then this job need to hire me with no problems then. They need to hire me with no issues. And God was like, it's done. So the job, they ended up doing a background check. You know, any reputable company, any of that, like, it's a federal job too. Like, thank God I even got the job. But they ended up doing a background check. And my record came up. And all they did was ask me about it. I explained what happened. And they hired me. Like, still, on the spot, like, right there. And I'm making good money, and I work from home, y'all. Let me tell y'all, this job is such a blessing. Like, I was able to take care of all my business, move, all of that, while I'm still working, getting paid full time. Like, it is a blessing. It was a blessing so that I could come here. Like, he made provisions for me to be able to come here. And I'm so blessed for that. And, yeah, let me tell y'all, like, my job, I get paid full time, and nobody calls me all day. Like, nobody calls all day. Like, that's a blessing. Like, because I still be handling my business, getting everything done. I just got to sit by the phone, and if somebody called, but nobody calls, so I'm getting paid full time, and I can take care of everything I got to take care of, and don't even got to leave the house. So that's a blessing. He made a way for me to come here for sure. Because during training, they had us working, like, Monday through Friday. We was just on Zoom. Like, it's pretty much listening to what they saying on Zoom. Like, you know, you just have your phone on, do whatever else you got to do. Like, but, and so, they had us working Monday through Friday. And I knew after training, they was going to have us working on Saturdays. And as you know, like, God doesn't want us to work on Saturdays, right? Not to be religious, but he don't want us to work on Saturdays. And so I was like, okay. So I had a whole lot. I was like, I'm not about to compromise my soul for this job. But I know, I feel like God gave me this job. He did. Like, God, you know, he provided me a way. So I know he wouldn't provide me nothing where I would have to compromise. I knew that. I'm like, nah. Because I knew somebody else in the Zoom, they said that they talked to corporate, and corporate was not responding to them about getting off Saturdays for the same reason. And corporate was not responding to them. So they quit. They left the job. And I was like, so what does that say about me? If somebody will quit, like, to keep their, you know, integrity, their soul right with God, they quit the job. They gave up the job because they had to work on Saturdays. I said, well, you know what? I cannot be the one to compromise. So I get to write in corporate. I'm writing all type of letters. I'm like, who do I need to talk to? Because I cannot work on Saturdays. So they ended up pointing me in the right direction. I ended up having to just send them proof of, you know, God law. God don't want us to work on Saturdays. So, because other than that, I don't mind working on Saturdays. Like, I'm not even a weekend person. I don't go out on the weekend. Like, I don't go out on the weekend. I don't need a Saturday or a Sunday. If I have off Monday, Tuesday, I'm okay with that. As long as I got some days off. Like, I'm okay with that. And so, you know, I wanted Saturdays off for that reason. I didn't want to compromise. So, God knew that. I asked God for, you know, I said, God, please let them give me this Saturday off. If this job was from you, if this opportunity was from you, God, let them give me Saturdays off, God. I don't want to have to quit and have to find another job right now. Not right now. This is not the time for that. So, just like that, they gave me off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I was like, what? I was so excited when I saw that. I'm off at 3:30, Monday through Thursday, and I'm off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I was like, that's a blessing. I'm like, thank you, God. Like, I'm so thankful, like, that I don't have to compromise. I can keep my job right now. Like, that was just right on time. Yet again. Whew. So, thank you, God. Hallelujah. All right, so So yeah, so during this whole time, I was really like, I didn't know what to do like with all my stuff. I'm like, do I sell my stuff? Do I drive to Florida? Like, do I drive to Texas? Do I fly to Texas? Like, what do I do? I don't know. Even though, you know, remember, like, when I told you I had the dream was of a plane ticket to Dallas. So the whole time knowing, I'm like, okay, you know, because God, he don't want to make stuff harder for us. He want us to take, you know, the easier route if we can. He like, you know, he don't want you to take the hard route. So he wanted me to fly here. He did, because that would have been easier for me, which, you know, it didn't work out like that, because we gonna get into that. But, you know, if people was offering to pay to ship my car, everything, like, people actually did pay to ship my car, even though I didn't even ship it, but because that was even a blessing. But yeah, I'm gonna get to that too. So yeah, so God was speaking to me heavily, and I was like, you know, I didn't know, what do I do? Do I keep all my stuff? Do I ship it across the country? What do I do? I didn't know. I'm getting quotes to ship my furniture. They talking about $1,700 just to ship my couch. So I'm like, okay, that's a clear sign. I can't keep the furniture. No matter how nice I might think it is, I have to get rid of the furniture. I'm not paying double the cost of the furniture just to ship it and keep it. I'm like, no, I could just buy new furniture. So yeah, when I was just doing that too. So before that too, before I was even getting quotes, I got into a car, and on the same radio station, he was speaking to me a lot through this radio station. He said, it said, will you sell everything you have? It was like an answer, and I was like, oh. I was like, man, but my couch is so nice. I was like, but that bed, I just got it. Like, I don't want to get rid of that. Like, I don't want to have to sell it. I'm like, the TVs is nice. Like, it's everything in there nice. My mom gave me all of that stuff. Like, she was a blessing. When I moved, she made my life so much easier. Like, she gave me everything. Like, that was a blessing. I'm like, she just bought all this stuff. It's all brand new. Like, I don't want to get rid of it. But I realized, too, the importance of just being a blessing to somebody else. Like, it's people that need that stuff way more than you. And you can get it again. God is going to bless you. Like, God is going to bless you. So yeah, I started to realize the importance of being a blessing to somebody else. So I started to let my stuff go for cheap also too, you know. Time was getting close. I could not decide. I was like, you know, am I going to sell the stuff? Am I going to keep it? Okay, boom. Got a couple weeks left. I got to start selling the stuff. Boom. So I was giving it away for very, very cheap. A lot of stuff I was just giving away. And yeah, so this is how God works though, right? So I'm donating all my stuff to the Salvation Army. I'm taking big old buckets of clothes, because I'm like, I want to start fresh. I'm like, I've been feeling like this urge for months, like, to get a new wardrobe. I'm like, no, look, Kayla, I was like, you got to start dressing different. Like, you got to start presenting yourself like a lady. Like, I want to start dressing like a woman, like, you know, and I wanted to have a new image. Like, I wanted to have a new, you know, wardrobe. So I was like, yeah, I'm just going to give everything away. So I'm donating everything to the Salvation Army. A mom with 4 kids walked up to me. She was excited. She was like, are you donating? I was like, yeah. She was like, let me check it out before they get it. Like, you know, let me see. So then she looked at it. She was like, she wanted all of it, because I had some Kaden stuff in there and my stuff too. And she had, like, she could fit my stuff. And she had a little bitty boy that was 2 years old, same size as Kaden Fastel. But yeah, he could fit all his stuff. And so, I felt so good about giving her that stuff, because she was like, look how God worked. You know, I wasn't even finna come up here. We was about to go to the park, but we decided to come up here. And so I had a TV in the back of my car. And because I was trying to get rid of everything out of my house. And so I had 2 TVs. I had a real big TV and I had a little TV. I had just gave my big TV away to my neighbors, and I regretted that, because I felt like that I should have gave it to her, but I did not see her until after the fact. But it was whatever, I got over it. So yeah, I offered her my TV, and I was like, do you need a TV? She was like, yes. She said, all my kids have been watching their TV on their phones. And I was like, oh my goodness, take the TV. I was like, do you need anything else? Like, I just felt so, like, good about giving her that, just because it was like, she needed it. Like, I love when I help somebody, like, and I get them something, and it's something that they wanted, or it's something that they needed. Like, that does something to me. Like, I'm like, when I go shopping for gifts, I don't like just getting little random stuff. Like, I want to get something that I know is going to mean something to you, that I know you're going to utilize, that I know you need. Like, so I just felt very good about that, and I just was glad to be a blessing to her, and I'm glad that she could recognize that it was a blessing in that moment. Like I said, I had people offering to pay to ship my car, like, you know, after that, because I saw, like, you know, I'm always gonna be blessed. Like, it's always somebody trying to, you know, someone trying to help me, trying to do something for me, like always trying to bless me, because, you know, now that I'm getting my heart right, I see the importance of blessing others. Like, that's not to get a blessing in return, but it's because other people need to be blessed too. Like, it's people that have so much less than you that will feel just so grateful for your trash. Literally. They like your trash, right? That ain't even really trash, but they will feel so grateful for the things that you take for granted. One man's trash is another man's treasure. That's so true, because it's stuff that we don't want. We throw it to the wayside, but somebody else is like, oh my goodness, God, please have that. Like, and so we have to just recognize even when it's important to be a blessing to another person. So yeah, mom had initially, she was the one who initially offered to pay to ship my car. But by the time that I had decided, it had kind of got like too late, because I was still, you know, I don't know, should I fly, should I drive, what do I want to do? I don't know. I was $1,000 that they wanted. So she was like, I don't know that that's worth paying $1,000, but I can just help you drive. So my mom was going to help me drive. Up until the morning that I was supposed to leave, that we were going to drive together. We ended up having like a little disagreement because of the words that were exchanged. I got into the car with my baby, packed up, and we just left. We just started driving on a 16-hour road trip. When I tell you it was Jesus and coffee that got me through this trip, like, I'm not over exaggerating. I don't know how I did it. I'll be telling people, I'll be like, I just drove 16 hours across the country with a child. They be like, what? They're like, I don't believe that. I don't believe you did that. How? How did you do that? I went to the furniture store, like, right after we got back. Me and Katie had went to sleep. The next morning, we at the furniture store. I told him we just drove 16 hours. He said, you look so refreshed. I was like, yeah, it was prayer and coffee. I'm trying to tell you, I asked Jesus for his strength. That was the only reason I made it on there, made it across the country. Yeah, that's a blessing though. Even that, I was just like, wow. Yeah, somebody had actually offered again to pay to ship my car. Like, this is why I know that God just wanted it to be easier for me, because literally when I say that, yeah, it took Jesus' strength to do that trip, but I would not do it again, not that long, because I was like, oh my goodness, like, it just seemed like it was just so long. But I know that God wanted me to fly. Like, this is why he sent me the plane ticket. Like, he wanted my life to be easier. This is why he had people offering to pay to ship the car, to pay for my plane ticket. Like, you know, what do you need? And I'm just like, last minute, I didn't know that I was about to be driving, especially alone, until like the day of. So I'm still so grateful for that, because that person still sent me the money that it cost to ship my car. And so that helped me with like a lot of the stuff that I had to pay for, like with moving in. So that was just such a blessing. Like, it was just God provision. Truly grateful for that. Like, he had a lot of people bless me, and I'm grateful. Like, he really made a way for me to come here. And I've been wanting to do this video, like, because I just realized the importance of this. Like, even because I see people in there, like, they feel like they don't have a purpose. They feel like, you know, they want to go somewhere. They want God to tell them where to go. Like, you know, they don't know where to go. They just feel lost. Like, they're just like, God, please help me. I'm like, God wouldn't help you. Like, he do, because he helped me. And he's not a respecter of persons. Like, it's not like he see this person, like, and this person. No, like, he wants to help us all. It's just a matter of, you know, you submitting to him. And then when he tells you something, you have to not doubt that he told you. You have to just listen and just go. If God tells you, get up and move to Nebraska, you don't know a soul there, you don't have a job there, you don't have childcare, you don't have money, go. Just go. Just go. Like, just go. If you don't have whatever you feel like that you don't have that is stopping you from going, like, God is going to make a way. If God wants you to go there. But yeah, I just heard this earlier too, where God guides, he's going to provide. And trust me, he has provided me. Like, he has provided for me. And I'm grateful for that. Like, because I could not imagine too if I had to get up and go to like a 9-to-5 while moving with a 1.5-year-old by myself. Do you know, like, that would have been terrible. It would have been terrible. Like, I'm not even over exaggerating. I'm like being for real. That would have been terrible. And I don't know how I would have did it. So I'm just grateful for everything that God has provided for me. But also too, there's no hard feelings against anybody in my family or anybody that I know. Like, I love my family. I know they only be wanting the best for me. Sometimes they don't know the best way to communicate that with me. But I feel like too, even like the little spat that I had with my mom, like, you know, as I was leaving, I feel like that was something to just catapult me into independence. Like, because when I got here, right, you know, initially, my mom, of course, she's going to help me pay for all my furniture. She's paying for gas on the way here, paying for food. She's going to pay for this. She's going to pay for that, do everything. Like, that's just what my mom, that's how the mom that she is. But, you know, when we had a disagreement, I had to come here and do everything on my own. And so I'm grateful for that, because it's like now I can look at everything like, I'm like, I bought everything in here. This apartment is in my name. Like, this is my place. I own this furniture. I own these TVs. I own everything in here. Like, this is my place. And so I'm proud of that. Like, literally. And so I'm grateful. Like, I'm grateful for, like, you know, I was just listening to somebody yesterday how they talk about, like, you know, your steps is order. Everything you go through be for a reason. Like, and so I'm so grateful for that. Like, how even that worked out. Even like the drive, I would complain about it, but it was not that bad. Like, it was not that bad. Like, God made it better for me. Like, anybody else would have had to stop. They would have had to go to sleep. Like, they would have had to. I went straight through, and plus with a 1.5-year-old. So I'm grateful for that. Like, for real. God saw me through. I'm just so grateful. When I was driving, I had the maps on my address, and after I was praying, I'm like, God, I don't know, I'm just gonna need Jesus' strength, God. I'm like, I ain't even saying I don't know how to do this. I'm just like, I know that I can't do this, but I know I need Jesus to do this. So Jesus and coffee. That's why I'm not even playing with Jesus and coffee, because when I prayed that, my maps literally, like, you know how you can make a stop on the maps? Like, it has, like, you go on a straight direction to somewhere, and then it's like, stop at the coffee shop 2 minutes away. Literally, after I prayed that, it was automatically on there. I didn't search coffee shop or nothing. It said coffee shop, like, go get some coffee, girl. And, like, literally, I was able to do coffee and Jesus. I drove 16 hours with a 1.5-year-old. And by the grace of God, I prayed. I said, God, please let Kaden sleep most of the time. Kaden slept most of the way. Like, I kid you not. And the time that he was just up looking around. Like, he ain't fuss. He ain't cry. He ain't, like, it was just amazing. Like, so, yeah, I'm just saying all that to say, like, whew. Let God lead you to a place. Like, I'm so excited for what's to come, because I know that God led me here. I know that I'm in, like, line for my destiny. I know that, like, things is about to happen for me, like, and I'm not just talking. Like, this is what God had to reveal to me. He had to tell me, because I couldn't even see this stuff for myself, right? Now I'm seeing it, though, like, because now I'm walking in it. Literally, I was watching a lady video. I'm like, I want God to lead me somewhere. Like, why can't God do that for me? Like, what? Feeling like, you know, I'm inadequate or something. Like, what I'm not doing. Like, that God ain't talking to me, but he was talking to me the whole time. So I'm saying this to y'all too, like, so y'all can know. When you feel like God ain't talking to you, he probably is talking to you. It might be something that you don't want to hear. It might be something that sounds crazy. But take it from me, a crazy girl. God is going to say some stuff that's going to make people look at you like, you is crazy. But that's just a part of faith. Like, you got to have faith. So even when it look crazy, when everybody looking at you like, you was crazy. You was crazy, girl. Like, what is wrong with you? I forgot to tell her I'm crazy a lot of times. But I'm crazy for God, for it. Like, I talk about God all day, and that's why I don't be wanting to annoy people, but, like, people tell you, like, you're not annoying. Like, that's not annoying. I'm like, but I just want y'all to know, like, God wants to do this for y'all, too. I'm chosen to spread a message. You can do it, too, if you just, you know, submit and obey, you know, to God, and do what God wants you to do. Let God lead you. So, thank you, Holy Spirit, because I feel like Holy Spirit definitely helped me with this video, because I wouldn't have been able to do it by myself. And I asked for the Holy Spirit too, because God been telling me, he been telling me, like, feed my sheep, tell these people, make these videos, produce fruit, do what you gotta do, do what you gotta do, do what you gotta do. I've been procrastinating, and he been dealing with me too about the spirit of procrastination, the spirit of laziness, all this other stuff I got going on. But he been dealing with me, like, a spiritual laziness too, because you know, sometimes could be, you know, a physical type of laziness too. You start to get tired. You don't want to do nothing. But he been dealing with me now, and I'm combating it. Like, I'm going to do what I have to do to get everything done. And so thank you guys for watching my video. I feel really great about this video, and I pray that it bless somebody for real. I pray that it bless somebody, and I pray that y'all will listen to God when God is trying to tell y'all where to go, tell y'all what to do. God just wants the best for us. He wants the best for his children. And I want the best for y'all too. So thank y'all for watching my video. God bless y'all.